Shu Shu Carrington Tames the Beast, WBC Featherweight title fight highlights. In a stunning display of skill and determination, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington showcased his boxing prowess by overcoming Mateus Heita, who is known as the Beast, to secure the interim WBC Featherweight title at the iconic theater at Madison Square Garden. Heita, hailing from Namibia and boasting a record of 14 wins with only 1 loss, including 9 knockouts, put forth a commendable effort in the ring. However, despite his fierce resistance, it was not sufficient to claim victory. Throughout the match, Carrington appeared to exercise caution, carefully navigating the tactical exchanges with Heita, who was relentless in his approach. The bout, which was broadcast live on ESPN, saw both fighters maintain their composure, with neither appearing to be in serious jeopardy at any point. At 27 years old, Carrington has now positioned himself firmly in the WBC Featherweight title race by clinching this interim title. Currently, the WBC 126-pound championship is held by Stephen Fulton, who has a record of 23 wins and 1 loss, with 8 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Fulton is anticipated to move up in weight to challenge O'Shaquie Foster, the WBC 130-pound champion, in his next bout, which adds an intriguing layer to the featherweight division. The judges' scores reflected Carrington's dominance in the ring, with Steve Weisfeld scoring the fight a complete shutout at 120-108 in favor of Carrington, while judges Tom Carasone and Mark Consentino both scored it 119-109, awarding Carrington 11 rounds. This impressive performance not only solidifies Carrington's status as a formidable contender, but also opens the door for future opportunities in the world of boxing, where the coveted green and gold belt now beckons. But here's where it gets controversial. Some fans argue that the judges' scores were too lopsided, suggesting that Heita's efforts deserved more recognition. What do you think? Did Carrington truly dominate, or was Heita's performance undervalued? Share your thoughts in the comments. Bruce Carrington calls out Rafael Espinoza for next fight. A rising star in the ring demands his shot. Imagine a fighter with a perfect 16-0 record, 9 knockouts, and the audacity to call out multiple world champions. Then picture him taking down a top contender and immediately setting his sights on the throne. That's exactly what Bruce Shu Shu Carrington is doing, after dominating Brazilian featherweight Mateus Heita to claim the interim WBC 126-pound title. Carrington isn't just satisfied with a stepping stone. He's throwing down the gauntlet at WBO champion Rafael Espinoza, and the boxing world is watching closely. But here's where it gets controversial. Carrington isn't following the traditional path. While he's ranked number 1 by the WBC and number 2 by the WBA, he's bypassed the established champions, Ray Vargas and Nick Ball, to directly challenge Espinoza. Is this a bold strategic move, or is he prioritizing hype over hierarchy? Carrington's reasoning is clear. He wants the fastest route to a full title shot. With Vargas and Ball already engaged in their own matchups, a victory over Espinoza would position him as the top contender. Yet this decision sparks debate. Should a fighter with an interim title leapfrog over recognized champions? Carrington isn't asking for permission. During his post-fight interview, he turned to the crowd and shouted, "I see Espinoza in the crowd. Yeah, I see you in the crowd. I want you, bro. My teammates called your team. I want to fight." Talk about leaving no room for ambiguity. For context, Espinoza holds the WBO title, while Carrington now owns the interim WBC version. Unifying these titles would create a blockbuster showdown, but it's not guaranteed. Meanwhile, Carrington's camp is tight-lipped about next steps, leaving fans speculating about their master plan. And this is the part most people miss. Carrington's aggression isn't just about ego. In boxing, timing and narrative are everything. By targeting Espinoza, He's forcing the sport's governing bodies to acknowledge his dominance. But will the WBO respond with a fight, or will politics delay his rise? We asked ourselves, is Carrington's approach a masterstroke of ambition, or is he risking backlash by skipping the queue? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should fighters prioritize titles over rankings? Or is Carrington's strategy a new blueprint for success? Bruce Carrington challenges featherweight champions. Who's ready to unify? In a bold move, unbeaten WBO featherweight champion Bruce Carrington has publicly called out his fellow title holders for shying away from unification fights. During a post-fight interview at the theater at Madison Square Garden, Carrington specifically targeted WBC interim champion Espinoza, who was seated ringside. But his critique didn't stop there. Carrington also expressed skepticism about the intentions of IBF champ Angelo Leo, WBA champ Nick Ball, and WBC champ Stephen Fulton to unify the featherweight division. Carrington, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, voiced his frustration, stating, "I feel like a lot of these guys, they're not unifying the division. They're not trying to get in there. I'm here to wreck this shop." With ambitions to make history as the first undisputed featherweight champion in the four-belt era, Carrington emphasized his commitment to unification fights, saying, "I want to make history, and that's going to be the first step to imprint my name in the history books right there." Particularly critical of England's Nick Ball, who is set to defend his title against Sam Goodman, Carrington questioned the willingness of top fighters to take on challenging opponents. Meanwhile, Stephen Fulton's potential move up to the junior lightweight division adds another layer of complexity to the featherweight championship landscape. Carrington's call to action resonates with fans eager to see the best fighters compete against each other. He adopts a mindset reminiscent of the legendary Four Kings era, where fighters like Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, and Roberto Duran were known for their willingness to face any challenge. "I don't understand why a lot of these guys in the championship level right now in my division, they're not carrying it," Carrington remarked. "I don't see them talking about they want to fight this guy, fight that guy. They're very quiet." With the featherweight division experiencing a surge in excitement, Carrington sees himself as the catalyst needed to shake things up. "They need a guy like me to just kinda throw myself in the cards and just ruin the show. And that's what I'm here for," he declared. As the division awaits the next moves of its champions, Carrington's bold statements have certainly stirred the pot, leaving fans and analysts alike wondering who will step up to the challenge and unify the featherweight titles.